When I was a kid, I was not much into reading. I was really into playing. I just was very active. I love sports. I love getting out and just moving. That was me. And yet, once in a while, there would be a book that I would come across that I enjoyed. Curious George was one of the books, partly because there were so many pictures in the book. I could just flip through and see Curious George in action. And this was a little monkey who was mischievous. He was highly inquisitive, trying to discover things. There needs to be a little bit of a Curious George in all of us. Because when there's curiosity, that's where the learning comes. Some people sadly stop learning, and their curiosity has tanked. And so we need to be those who are investigating, researching, developing an inquisitive mind. It keeps the mind fresh. It keeps us youthful. Well, there are some individuals who, when it came to the resurrection, were like a Curious George. They weren't monkeying around, they were mischievous, but they were curious, they were inquisitive, and they needed to get some answers about, did this really take place with Jesus or not? Notice again in John 20, starting in verse 3, it shows us how curious these men were. It says, so Peter and the other disciple went forth, and they were going to the tomb. So you got Pete and John, and they are making their way to this tomb. The two were running together. And the other disciple ran ahead faster than Peter. That'd be John. John is very humble. He doesn't want to say, hey, I'm the fastest guy around. I was able to beat out Pete. He just referred to himself as being the other disciple. He's a humble guy. And then he says that he ran faster than Peter and came to the tomb first. And so John he's so humble, he won't identify himself. And he certainly won't claim victory in this race, but he won it. Then in verse 5, it says, and stooping and looking in. Can you just see John going about his investigation? He's doing the Curious George thing, and he kind of peers in. The last time he was aware, there was a corpse in there. So it might have been kind of a freaky moment for him. Is Jesus in there or not? And so he does a little bit of research, doesn't he? He does his investigation. He explores for himself. Is this tomb empty, or is it populated? Is there a body in there? Well, it says he saw the linen wrappings lying there, and the face cloth which had been on his head, not lying with the linen wrappings, but rolled up in a place by itself. Some would say that this was the Shroud of Turin. Our faith does not rest on whether or not the Shroud of Turin is legitimate or not as pointing to Jesus, although there are signs on the burial cloth that this had to have been an individual who was crucified. And so this was a crucified individual. But again, our faith does not rest on the Shroud of Turin, although there's a high percentage of likelihood that this very well could have been the burial cloth in which Jesus was buried in. It says, but that these linen wrappings were rolled up in a place by itself. So the other disciple who had first come to the tomb then also entered, and he saw and believed. Are you curious as to whether or not Jesus is alive? Are you? Maybe it's time for you to do your own little investigation, to do your own research. Again, maybe your parents have taught you something different. Maybe you have friends or peers who say, I'm not on the Jesus bandwagon. Hey, look, your eternity is at stake. I once had a conversation with my mother about her husband who had died years ago. Her husband, Steve, had resolutely not only rejected Jesus, but he also said there's no God. Very loudly, he would say that in public. There is no God, he would say. And at one particular point in the conversation with my mom, we were talking about Jesus, and I said to her, Steve knows who Jesus really is right now. And she was like, what do you mean? Well, I've been telling you all along that Jesus is God in the flesh. He's my Savior and my Lord. And that he was raised from the dead and he went home. He went back to glory. He's alive. Steve knows whether or not I'm lying at this very moment. He knows that there is a God. Maybe it's time for you to do a little research for yourself, a little investigation. Not take my word for it, not take someone else's word for it, but you dig into the scriptures, which is the best resource, and draw your own conclusions for yourself.